Yes, everyone, what's going on? This is Stephen Howson. This is Full-Time Devils. United have beaten Leicester 1-0 at the King Power to keep that winning run going. Obviously, with that little bit of a blip against Burnley. Wasn't the best performance that we've seen from United. It was a very workmanlike performance. We had to take the chances that we had. We did create quite a few, but they weren't enough real good quality shots on goal, I didn't think. I thought we were very limited by what Leicester were doing. I thought Leicester were good. That Leicester midfield made it really difficult for United, denied a lot of the space, and it was a game that I kind of expected, to be honest. Leicester have been a massive bogey team for us lately, so I'm really pleased that we just managed to get over the line, get 3 points, and keep pressure up on those around us in the top four, who I'm absolutely certain that we're going to get ahead of just as soon as we get another couple in the mixer. People saying that was horrible in the comments. I don't agree that it was horrible. I thought, away from home against a team that, probably 7th or 8th best team in the table, you've got to go and say that they're looking to try and get a victory and an upset there. And a draw wouldn't have been a great result for us, nor them. I don't think anyone would have been happy getting a draw there, but coming away with a win, I think that's perfectly acceptable for us. 9 wins out of 10 under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. 3 points, that's all that matters. A little bit disappointing about what happened midweek against Burnley, because now if we'd have got that, we'd be firmly inside the top 4. But it wasn't to be, and we've just got to hope that results around us go our way, and then we'll start to see United really make a difference. Like there was some bad performances. I think you all know who I'm going to be talking about heavily with this one, and I think it was just one of those performances. I think. Ultimately, the result, like it always has been, like you've always heard me say, the result is the most important thing. But there weren't a great deal of positives to take from today. One of the things that I think is a takeaway in almost a negative sense is that we saw that be pretty much our best 11. I think a lot of you probably agree. I mean, if you do agree with me, let me know in the comments. If you don't agree with me, let me know in the comments. The worrying thing is that I don't think we can rotate much outside of that best 11 just yet, because I think when we do, we start to fall to pieces. Substitutions, I thought the introduction of Marshall for Sanchez was a good one. That is probably what our best 11 genuinely looks like, with Marshall ahead of Sanchez at the moment. Don't think many people disagree on that front. But I also think that when you start to bring others in, you start to make other changes, it does kind of fall apart pretty quickly. Chris says Matic, man of the match. I thought first 10 minutes, first 20 minutes, Matic was quite sloppy, but he did put a lot of good stuff in the mix. Young, Shaw, Lingard were all shit today, says Jevin. Probably. Sanchez on the plane to China. I don't know about that. I don't think he's in quite that bracket just yet. He just wasn't making things happen like we certainly expect just yet. And I don't know. I don't think we've quite found his best position. I wonder what the pass accuracy stat would be. I don't have it to hand. But yeah, it wouldn't have been great today. There was a lot of misplaced passes today. And I put that down on the player. I don't think that's down to the management necessarily. Sometimes you can say that is a symptom of how the guy is trying to manage the team. If they're constantly looking to put the ball into the channels ahead of someone and the defence is sort of intercepting that and sweeping that up, then you go, all right, it's one of those. But that wasn't really where we was misplacing the passes today. We was misplacing passes in the final third, which I've got less of a problem with. But some of them were just... There was one with Ashley Young where he just kicks it out for a goal kick, when he should have passed it. I think it was Lingard that was ahead of him. He should have passed it him a good second earlier than he tried to make the pass. And then when he did make the pass, he just give it away. Sanchez had a similar one in the middle third when I think Pogba was about to run onto a ball and he just passes it to Ndidi, and you just think, it's those inexplicable sloppiness that really annoys me. Krishko says Lukaku's not a United player. He definitely is. I saw him just playing just then. What's next for Sanchez? I think Sanchez probably needs to just continue to be picking up minutes, and I hope he can come back. I really do hope he can come back, because he leads United in terms of key passes, and key passes is literally passes that lead to a shot. So he's setting people up. It's just, is he doing it enough? Is he doing it in the manner that fits in with his team? But I was happy seeing him in the starting 11 alongside Jesse Lingard. I got 10 out of my predicted 11. For today's game. That's definitely our best midfield 3, and I wanted to see Sanchez in there. One, because I wasn't sure on the fitness of Marshall, and I thought if you've got Pogba and you've got Marshall, who are both a little bit iffy, let's rest Marshall because we have got backup that we can play in his place. And I also thought the work rate of Sanchez and Lingard would be a real asset for us in that final third. And in the first half, that seems to be the case. In the second half, very much a little bit like what happened at Spurs, where I don't think we was like, let's let them have the ball, but that was a consequence of what we was kind of seeing, was that they did just end up having more of the ball. They did just end up having that territory where they really started to press and squeeze United. Maybe it's a good thing that we're seeing United be able to fall back into that and almost park the bus. Maybe that's a good thing because we've done it there at Leicester, now we've done it at Spurs. Is that something that United are getting into? Is he trying to prepare us for what we might see against someone like Liverpool or Paris Saint-Germain? Or is it a case of we are finding the limits of this team and we're doing well to be getting the 3 points that we're getting? Sanchez's stink, you can't say he justifies his wages since joining United. I don't think any of them can justify their wages. All the wages that footballers get paid are absolutely bananas. So no, I don't think any of them justify their wages, but it's not me that's making the call on wages. I'd rather they go to a footballer than the Glazers. Young was not the worst player on that pitch, says Kat. Really? Really? Do I think that a draw killed our overall momentum? We haven't seen the performance of the winning streak. I think we saw that level of performance prior to the draw, absolutely, yeah. But I think getting a hard-fought draw right there, I think it's a good thing. Kadeen92 says, mate, all you did was claim nothing could change with a different manager. What are you saying now? That's never what I claimed. If you struggle understanding words, ask an adult and they'll help you. What I said is what most people think a manager does is overrated. A manager is not going to get you playing above what the ability of a team is. You're not going to see Zidane or Guardiola or anybody else that you think is an amazing manager take over Stoke and win the league, are you? Because that's what you're suggesting an amazing manager does. Pellegrini won the league with Manchester City, now he's struggling with West Ham. Every single manager can only play a team to their potential. Now, what Jose was doing, and if you look into the data of it, when managers get sacked, they get sacked because their team is averaging around about 1 point per game instead of around about 2 to 2.2 that a team usually gets if they're doing all right. When a manager is sacked, they're sacked at the lowest point. So the bounce back that people often talk about, it's not a real thing. It's just the team leveling back up to its average. A manager is not going to outperform with a team. It's dependent on the team more than the manager. The manager's role in all of this is overrated. Hence why Ranieri managed to pick up a title at Leicester, and then when he goes to Fulham, why aren't they winning the league? Because the team isn't good enough. If you look at every single manager change that's happened in the league so far this year, and I'm talking Emery, I'm talking Sarri, has anything massively changed from their previous managers? Not really. People talk about wanting Conte. We did the exact same thing Jose did. Jose had United playing under what their potential was. Ollie, I think, is probably getting us playing to our potential or close to it, which means that we're probably still not the best team in the country. We actually are statistically the best team in the country since Ollie took over, but I think our place is around about the third best team in the country. And that's one of the reasons why I don't want Pochettino. I think Pochettino has Spurs playing under their potential, because that 11, for me, it's better than the Liverpool 11. Yet Liverpool are the ones at the top of the league, and Spurs are going to win fuck all again. So, yeah, I didn't claim what a manager does is nothing. I said what people perceive the manager does is overrated. Typically, and statistically, it's not my claim, it's Harvard and fucking Stanford expert knobheads that have been doing the research and claiming this. Go and read Soccernomics and educate yourself that the manager change is actually extremely minimal. The impact of a good manager is about as impactful as a good player. So it's like a 12th of a team. But the team has to be improved all around for a team to actually go on and do something. It's not my opinion. That is the research of some scientists that are cleverer than you and cleverer than me. So if you want to argue with it, go and argue with them. Rash needs to become more clinical. He'd get more goals. He only looks capable of 1 goal a game. 1 goal a game is pretty fucking good if you ask me. I think Ollie should start playing Delo instead of Young. I definitely agree with you on that one. Lindelof played well with Baye. I want to see more of that, to be honest. I don't think they're their perfect partnership just yet. I definitely want to see more of that. Thoughts on the match with PSG? It's going to be a cracker. Can't wait. Old Trafford, big game. That's what it's all about for me. I definitely cannot wait. Have to take the 3 points no matter the performance. Great job, Howson. Thank you, Nate. Yeah, absolutely, mate. You always take the 3 points. It's always about getting the result over the performance. The performance is nice, and good performances will lead to more good performances. But ultimately, I'd rather shithouse my way to a title winning it 1-0 than playing amazing football and winning fuck all. Arsenal. Lingard looked awfully not interested today, totally unlike him. Maybe. Yeah, I think he was a little wider than he normally plays his best football. I think I've been really enjoying Lingard played in the tip of the diamond in the 4-4-2 diamond that we've been playing, and I'd like to see him continued in that when we do come up against the likes of Liverpool and when we do come up against the likes of PSG. Bay is still rash, that's his thing. How many times did Matic give the ball away today? A few, I think. Varane would be good. We're not getting Varane. Still unbeaten under Ole. Yeah, that's a good headline, isn't it? Still unbeaten under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Happy days. Do I think Ole will get the permanent job? Well, I've seen the rumours coming up. It's a brilliantly sexy rumour that a journalist can throw together, isn't it? That Ole gets the job if he beats Paris. Well, we don't know if we're going to beat Paris. And the likelihood is that we probably don't beat Paris. So he can say that, and then when he doesn't beat Paris and be like, well, he's not getting a job now. I don't think they're going to hinge it on one game. I think you hinge it on a culmination of every single factor and facet of the club. But I don't fear this game. And I don't think Ole should fear this game either. I think it'd be a hell of a football match, and I cannot wait. But for me, if we're looking elsewhere to do the bit of due diligence, I think that's fine. But Ole should be our number one target, and we should be looking at transfers that he thinks are going to get the club moving forward. Or maybe not just him, Mickey Phelan, Michael Carrick, McKenna, etc, etc, etc. Right, I'm going to bounce, but let me know in the comments who you thought was man of the match today, because I think there wasn't many candidates, and I think there's probably nothing in between those who are the candidates. So thank you guys for joining in. Adam is over in Leicester doing the fan cams, so stick around Full Time Devils for the fan cams coming very soon. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you're new. Give it a like if you enjoyed the 3 points today from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's Manchester United, and I will see you in the next one. Laters.